of the Aggies of New Mexico State?
I would not, Tony. When I actually wrote previews for you before you found someone real to do it, like Matt Dixon, I didn't even write one on these games. I just abstained. So no, I don't care anything about focusing on the Aggies.
Like, in other words, what's the point?
It's November and we're playing a team that can't play dead.
Sort of like if you're a Green Bay Packer fan, what's the point in turning that on tonight? Same kind of concept, isn't it? Sort of like if you're a Jacksonville Jaguar, what was the point in walking on to the field in the fourth quarter yesterday, Bri? Bri took a nice Sunday afternoon nap.
They didn't walk on the field. That's the problem.
Bri, what happened? Describe it to us.
They literally could have been – the Texans literally were playing against air.
How'd that happen, Bri? How'd you let a backup quarterback – not that I want to pick at you here on a Monday. How do you let a backup quarterback come 3 scores?
Because that's what the Jags do. That's what they do. They don't beat backup quarterbacks.
You guys are about to get like a great home field – a home game in the playoffs and the whole deal.
No.
Right? Yes, you were. Meanwhile, Bino's Colts, superior on several continents.
Colts, other end of the spectrum, Tony, had no business winning in one. They were terrible in the red zone. They turned the ball over again, had no business winning, and found a way to do it. So.
Tim Banks Space Academy today running on a 2-hour delay. We're not doing any school closings now, I'm sorry. But I will say that Danny White's next increase is currently on as normally scheduled. By the way, Danny White raised the scoreboard, Beanstar, over the weekend, I was told.
Hey. One of his lieutenants was listening.
By a few folks. Pretty pump. Machi Brook just texted me. She said, what's our tent number for this weekend? Bino, you think, how would you like me to be planning something? I'm scrolling through my emails right now as we speak. Bri, is it okay with you as a producer if today we don't focus on the Florida game, but instead focus on
well, getting enough tickets to take the kids to the game, take all the kids that want to go to the game Saturday should be the focus instead of the too much on the team that they're going to be playing.
What about, guys, the Florida Gators season coming to an abrupt halt over the weekend? What about what the Throat wrote today over at tclub.team, Bino, which is that he's right. Think about it. The pressure is now on Tennessee more than ever in those last 2 games. First of all, Vanderbilt pulling that game out over the weekend, and obviously we all had a chance to watch it. Obviously we were off. Obviously we were, depending on your perspective, either cheering for or against them. When I went off the air, they were down 17. We were laughing about how, and I say off the air, Saturday I did the Garza Law Tennessee basketball overtime. When I went off the air, they were down 17 and we thought they were going to Vanderbilt. Bino, I'm not sure what game's more pressure packed now. The chance to win at Florida in 20 years or the chance, Bino, to not get defeated by Vanderbilt, who might lose between now and then to Kentucky, who have found a quarterback and are all of a sudden a little better, which is interesting how that happens. What do you guys think?
I think there should be a zero tolerance policy for the game in Gainesville now. You can go fearing that team all you want and fearing that series and the history and what's happened in Gainesville, but there should be a zero tolerance policy based on what I saw Saturday night.
Dino, should we have a position statement right now or not really?
Well, I mean, Tony, it's that is the view that most everyone is going to take on that game, because it does appear that Florida's totally quit. I've just never seen them quit against us. I've never seen them not be ready to play us. I've never seen them not care about playing us. So I'll believe it. I'll believe that that's the Florida team that I'm going to see Saturday night when I see them take the field.
They've never had these kind of circumstances when they faced Tennessee in the past. The game's always been early in the season. It's always been in September. Like I said in the summertime, getting these guys at the back end of the schedule is going to help Tennessee quite a bit.
Now, that's certainly been the history of it. Of course, most of that history was before even I was born, but that's still the history of it.
But really, guys, if you think about it, what's more appropriate? Florida has tortured Tennessee for 30 years now. Yes or no, Bino?
Yes.
So what would be the most appropriate way, now that we're jumping off this annual headache, what would be the most appropriate way?
The most appropriate way to
end this thing?
Well, it'd be to go down there and beat the hell out of them.
Really? Brian, what would be the most appropriate way for it to end? Since they've tortured us for 30 years.
I know what you're thinking, but I don't want to say it. But I know what you're thinking.
But you are right, Bino. You would think. Because here's the thing. I kind of went back and was looking inside the numbers. What happened to the Gators up there in Lexington? And look, we saw that team a few weeks ago. And don't really know that they're very good. Speaking of the Kentucky Wildcats. Now, maybe you guys might disagree, because they are now saying that when you look at the game, that Mark Stoops is safe and this, that, and the other. Yeah, thanks, Brian. I needed some help there. I'm very distracted. I'm getting Brooke our tailgate location. 865-200 5402. Yeah, so me and Brooke are going back and forth here. Sorry, everybody. I'm just trying to get the tent location. Hey, Bri, how would you guys explain this sport to me? Do y'all want to explain this sport to me? Bino, how does Kentucky, during this same period where we can't beat them here, there, or anywhere, it's like pulling teeth when we beat them. Even our 2022 team, the game ends with them going into the end zone about to win the game. Even when we beat them, it feels like we're pulling teeth, right?
Yes.
Killer Dude says the most appropriate way would be Lagway's backup come in and beats us down like the Jags got beat down yesterday by a backup quarterback, Bri. It's evoking your Jags, Bri. It was 30.
I'm going to have to revisit the definition of appropriate.
Well, I'm just thinking about the series, because I want to do a show at some point next couple of weeks on my favorite moment in the Florida series over the last 30 years, and then my most tortured moment in the last 30 years. Now, the tortured moment There are so many to choose from. There are so many great stories. I mean, going down there in the late 90s and doing the show and walked out of there with the belt. The most beautiful thing was in 2001 being on the roof there, but it was just all at the Purple Porpoise down there on their, what used to be their strip. None of these places have strips anymore because these people come in and build big, huge, whatever it is they build. But Janoy says losing on a Hail Mary in the last second by some scrub backup as they come from 2 scores down would be a pretty apropos thing. Can you guys explain to me, and maybe I missed this, how Florida is capable of losing 38-7, Bino? 38-7.
They quit. That's what it is.
Bino, did you watch it?
I did not, Tony. I didn't watch a second of it.
Did you, Brian?
Yeah, I saw most of it enough to know that Florida's only score came after a muff punt. They had to go 13 yards, and that was their offense.
That was it. Yep. Bino, is the pressure now on us? Does this augment the pressure on Josh Heupel and the program after Florida loses 38-7? They had 143 passing yards in the game. They threw 3 interceptions. They averaged 3.3 yards per carry. Lagway got benched. Second time in a row, second time this year, rather. LSU was the other time where Lagway just looked, well, he just looked like not an option quarterback, but he looked like an optional quarterback. Florida actually had a 7-3 lead early in the game, as Brian's talking about. Then they got outscored 35-0. They averaged 3.9 yards per pass play. And that Kentucky team can't play. They can't play. And this Tramel Jones kid, if he is their quarterback going forward, decommitted about 10 months ago from Florida State and committed there. And they're going to throw him out on the field against Florida State in what will be a real stink bowl of a game. There is no reason that Tennessee shouldn't add their name on the list of teams that have beaten the Florida Gators. No reason. Post Urban Meyer in their building. No reason. Kentucky's on that list a couple times. Arkansas's on that list. Mississippi State's on that list. There's no reason. And Bino, it would be very appropriate for Tennessee to play them and either beat them or not, and then Lane Kiffin to take that job. You know that, right? Now that they're going off our schedule, we don't have to see him every year. Is it going to bother you, Beanstar, if Kiffin takes that job, or do you would you sell his success there? Where are you on just the concept of Lane Kiffin and the Florida Gators?
I think he'll be very good there, Tony, if he takes the job. I don't know. He likely won't be Spurrier. He likely won't be Urban Meyer.
Yep.
But he'll be the closest thing they've seen down there to those two guys. I would prefer him take a job somewhere else, but I mean, he's going to take one within this league.
Yep.
And now that the schedule has changed, it wouldn't make a tremendous amount of difference if he were at Florida or LSU. I wish he would go outside the league, but he'll do a really good job there, I think.
Bry, if he goes there, Florida gets back to national championship contention, yes or no?
They certainly get to the top of what I would consider the top of the SEC. They'd be top 5-ish team every year. And yeah, I think they probably could average 9 to 10 wins with Lane Kiffin there. I think he could do that.
Here's the thing that's really interesting between now and then, if that happens. Tennessee's got a game with them in a week and a half there. At the beginning of the season, we all thought there was a possibility that, and we kept saying it. From a Tennessee perspective, maybe your hope is that they would be, at that point, tapped out. I did watch a game Saturday night, and they were big time tapped out. To Brian Hartman's point, they weren't playing on defense. Offensively, they just, now that freshman receiver got hurt, there's nothing left. And I just wonder what the game looks like. You close your eyes and you think about it. Bri, we're going to find out here in a little bit what time that start is, right? What's your guess, Bri? Afternoon start?
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be an evening game. Either noon or evening is what I'm going to stick to.
It's not going to matter. Bino, the difference between our fan base and any other fan base in this league is it's hard to tell when you walk into our stadium what our record is. Now, obviously, the intensity level in your stadium goes up when you get a real opponent in there. Like our place, when you have an Oklahoma or a Georgia in your building, there's nothing like it. So obviously, the intensity level. I think about the Florida situation, and I don't know, Bino, what's best, because this might be one of those deals where we're going to have to generate our own juice. I think you could see 50,000 people in the stadium, maybe 45,000 people. I think there's a scenario that exists where that's a half-filled stadium down there. Watching a Tennessee team that's not marquee and missing the playoffs. No offense to us. And a Florida team that just got absolutely humiliated by Kentucky and now gets to go to a guy that could be their next coach. What do you think, Beanstar, about that? We might have to generate our own juice down there even.
Yeah, which is just another strange thing to go along with this strange environment that we're in right now.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. There's no question that the pressure is going to be ramped up. I think that's a loss. That if Florida was anywhere close to what we thought that they would be at this point in the season, that people might excuse a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody's ever going to excuse a loss to Vandy, regardless of how good they are.
Yep.
Because it's something we're just not accustomed to. I think people have unfortunately become accustomed to Florida beating us in Gainesville, but this is an opportunity we've never seen before, like Brian said. And I guess I'm going to borrow a phrase from Philadelphia, when if we don't beat them this time, I will NEVER see us win down there.
Yeah, you're right. If Tennessee plays that game cleanly and properly, Bino, that should be a win, no problem. If they just go out and take care of business, they should roll that team. Roll them. And then you're in that scenario where you scratch an itch. Because the thing I can't figure out about this college football deal is how and why that lame Kentucky program can get them every freaking year now, Bino.
Yeah.
They beat them like 5 out of 6 years. I mean, they just beat on them, and they beat on them.
Absolutely. That's as strange as what's going on with us against Florida. I mean, both of those things are just strange.
Yep. Love me some negative, Dave. The basketball team looked so good over the weekend. Negative Dave had a positive phone call. Did either one of you see the basketball game in the middle of the football weekend? You're excused if you didn't. Quad 4.
I heard the second half a little bit driving around in the car.
How'd the great Mike Keith sound?
I like his tempo.
Yeah, he's really good. You can tell he told me he's going to have to really work at it. You can tell he put in the time, as the musicians like to say out there. 865-200-5402. Mark Stoops has one trick. It's beating the Florida Gators. It's his big win since he's been at Kentucky, rather. It's his big win. It is his big win. And as somebody adroitly points out, now you've got a Lane Kiffin deal set up where, like Doug Dickey back in the day, he gets to play the school he's going to go to, Bino. Do we not love modern college football?
That's history repeating itself. That's a good catch right there.
Yeah, that's good. Let's see who came up with that. Timothy McGee, too. Kudos to you. Kudos to you. Guys, let's do a position statement right now. Tennessee cannot lose in Gainesville and maintain credibility in 2025. Yes or no, Bino? You're going to lose credibility if you lose that game. Yes or no, Bino?
Yes.
Yes. I'm landing on that. Position statement. The Volunteers will, if they do not win in Gainesville this year, will not be a credible football program. And it will not be acceptable to lose to that team. Because as Bino just said, collectively, we as a fan base, we as a people, we the people, Dutch Mantel, collectively, we have to look in the mirror and say, you cannot let that happen. I'm telling you right now, Matt Dixon said it. By the time Ole Miss gets done with them, there will be 45,000 people at that game. If that. Nobody unplugs like that Florida fan base. Nobody doesn't show up like that Florida fan base. They are so unique in that. They are the greatest front runners in the world. Now, I will tell you this. In the last 15 years since Urban Cryer walked out of there, they've had some pretty good practice in unplugging, and they're very good at it. They're very good at it. Brian, do you buy Lane Kiffin in Florida? Because what I hear he's fascinated with the idea of going back to where Layla's father won a Heisman Trophy. The late, great John Reeves. I hear he's fired up, focused, prepared with the possibility of being Florida's head coach after he was skipped over several times. And he's now a hot commodity. And look, Florida wants to get it right because they've lost their place in the sport. And we saw that here several years ago because Tennessee sort of refound its place in the sport. Now, not to the degree that some of you would like, but it doesn't make it so. Tennessee has refound its place in the sport. They're playing at the top of the sport. Some of you fall into the trophy culture category where all you want to do is point to the loss to Ohio State last year, and you do you. That's fine. I got newsflash for you. Nobody was beating Ohio State last year, as in nobody. But if you want to hold that against Josh Heupel for making the playoffs last year, okay, fine, whatever. You do you. And so they're going to be desperate to get it right. And if they can get him, I'm afraid they're going to get it right. And I don't think he's the greatest game manager in the world. He does goofy things. He's a little bit of a goofball. He's a little bit flaky. He's not perfect. But let's see how it goes. And by the way, Negadave has weighed in on Mike Keith over here on YouTube. Bino, Jeff, I'm going to let you decide. Is it a positive review from Negadave or a negative review from Negadave? Bino, what do you got?
Well, I hope this one's a positive review. Personally, I really like what Mike Keith's doing.
Yeah, I wish Negadave could say the same, but unfortunately for him, he's Negadave, and I'm not. On the other side, right after this. Living Vol fan, make Alumni Hall your one-stop shop for all your Vol fans on your shopping list this holiday season. There's nothing better than getting your favorite Tennessee gear under the tree. Picture it, a nice polo shirt, a new hoodie, something for the man cave. Pop in and see my friends at Alumni Hall. Best selection of Tennessee gear. Alumni Hall, 3 Knoxville locations. Bristol, Johnson City, Murfreesboro, or online at alumnihall.com. It's easy to have a big orange Christmas. And happy holidays from everyone at Alumni Hall. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience. Alumni Hall. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Foley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage are pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires. Just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore is the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com.
Cold weather is on its way, and keeping your home warm and cozy doesn't have to cost a fortune. Upgrade your HVAC system with Pipe Wrench Home Services and get payments as low as $137 per month. You'll also save on utility bills with a new energy-efficient HVAC system to keep your home warm and comfortable through the holidays. We make it easy with free on-site estimates on replacements and free second opinions on repairs. So call or schedule your appointment online today at pipewrench.com. And get a new energy-saving HVAC system for as little as $137 per month. We are committed to keeping your home cozy and worry-free this holiday season. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
Restrictions apply. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
Oh, CJ, I'm so sorry for speaking over you there, buddy. Bad habit on my part. 865-200-5402, the numero uno, Shout out to the great Austin Collins, who's asked me today if we need some, if our friends from Amachi could use some tailgate spots this week or some parking spots this weekend over where he buys like 50 every week for his tailgate. And the answer is yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Anybody that wants to participate in this thing, reach out. If you've got an enhancer or two that you can consider, think of, any kind of enhancer or two, we are here for you. 865-200-5402. Brent V looks ahead and says, Vols versus Florida tickets are $120 over on SeatGeek, still expensive. That doesn't matter. As somebody that buys and resells things in the kind of junking around market, there's a saying. And here's the saying. Something's only worth what someone's worth paying for it. Or somebody's willing to pay for it. I'm sorry, I can't even figure out what I'm trying to say here. So in other words, don't believe the hype, because I certainly don't believe that hype. Tickets will be plentiful and cheap, and you go down there, you'll be able to get in for $50 outside that game, if that. If that. All right, before we get back to the phones, Bino Jeff Henderson, what did you make of? And then we'll go to the phones at 200-5402. Here are the questions. Or do you agree with the position statement on Florida? That is a now. You cannot lose that football game and have a credible football program in 2025. That's the position statement that our show has taken. You cannot, if you're the University of Tennessee and you want me to take you seriously, go down there and lose that game. Florida Gators are laying there. They're begging for it. Laying there. They're beyond playing out the string. That effort, and I use it in quotes, on the road in Lexington was embarrassing to me, and I'm a Vol fan. It's just embarrassing to me as somebody who likes sports. It's like Brian Hartman's Jags over the weekend, for crying out loud. Bino, lay it on me here. Vanderbilt, what are they? Kind of a fun fascination. The air comes at them this weekend with Kentucky, or we better buckle our seatbelts. What are they?
No, we better buckle our seatbelts. Right now, that's a real solid football team and a focused and motivated football team, and you can't put them away football team.
I know our fan base doesn't like this Pavia guy. I know several people don't like him. I know Matt gets tired of me kind of pumping him up. This Pavia guy is the spitting definition of one of those dudes where when he's on your team, you love him. When you're going against him, you hate him for all he's worth. He's so unique, Bino, I can't even figure out who he reminds me of in that sport. His impact on them, this league, what he's done. Does he remind you guys, can you think of anything like Pavia? The impact he's had on those guys?
You know, I can think maybe Drew Gilbert would come to mind, crossing sports.
That's very good.
It's very good,
That's
Brian.
very good.
Jawan Jennings, maybe.
Yep, that's very good as well. He's not as talented, but he's got a. I've heard people say Johnny Manziel, and that's got some merit to it, I believe. And I do not like him. I mean, I don't like his brashness. He's like Signetti to me, but I don't have to like someone to really respect and appreciate what they're doing. And both of those guys, I give them credit.
He's almost so unlikable, Bino, that I kind of like him.
Yeah, I can see that. I think that's the way Signetti is for a lot of folks too. And I was watching Signetti, and he, in the same statement before the game at Penn State, he won me and then lost me back. They asked him they said, Indiana's never won at Penn State. And he said, this team has never played at Penn State. And he was right. And then they asked him something about him having some concerns, and he just went straight Richard again, said, the time for concern is over. It's time to beat them. And just walked off.
I think I'd want a coach like that.
Oh, if he were our
on my
coach,
side.
No, if he were our coach, I'd absolutely love him, Brian. And you have, in order to raise the level of play at Indiana or raise the level of play at Vanderbilt, you have to have that in you. I don't think anyone else could have done that outside of Pavia at Vanderbilt and Signetti at Indiana.
Alan makes a really good point over here on YouTube. WeShipFloors.com, Alan. There were a ton of Vanderbilt fans at that game over the weekend. I mean, Auburn fans, rather. For as hot as Vanderbilt football's gotten, you would think that opposing fans wouldn't be able to buy their way into that building the way that they were the other night. There were tons of them in there. And here's the thing about Auburn football. See, they have a fan base that deserves to win. That's a show-up fan base. They're like we are. They're a show-up fan base. They don't always get their money's worth, obviously, Martin Colombo. But they are a show-up, show-out fan base. See, here's what we have. Tell me if you guys saw this coming into the year. Your playoff teams right now are Georgia and Alabama. We kind of all knew that coming into the year. By the way, the quarterback at Alabama, they have the weirdest offense I've ever seen because I'm not sure what they do well, but whatever it is they do it well when it matters. But Ty Simpson's had a really nice year. So you've got those two teams that are, I'm just convinced are just going to win out and win. And I'm not sure either one of them is all that good. I've got this Texas A&M bunch, Bino. They've never done anything in their adult lives, but I'll be damned if coaching doesn't matter. This Mike Elko guy is winning in a spot where nobody's ever really won. With a quarterback from Nashville who's really developed and really grown into a very good college football player and a very good leader. Ole Miss is tracking to make the playoffs. That's 4 teams. I got 4 now. And if Vanderbilt beats us in a couple weeks in Neyland Stadium, that's going to be 5 out of this league that are going to go. How do you keep any of them home, Bino? If they all keep winning.
I don't think you will, Tony. As I told you when the season started, I'll believe when I see that a 10-2 SEC team does not make the playoffs.
If a 10-2 team does miss the playoffs, Bri, who would it be? Would it be Ole Miss or would it be Vanderbilt? Because they're not going to leave one of those halves behind. Not going to happen. And again, this is all contingent on the ACC being a one-bid league. Nothing screwy happening in the Big 12. Notre Dame continues to win. Or maybe they don't. But who's going to beat them left on their schedule? Maybe a USC.
I could see a 10-2 Vanderbilt based on the fact that they don't have a tremendously large fan base.
Yep.
Maybe being left out.
Yep. Now, there is a thought, and I said it earlier, this Boley guy at Kentucky is kind of a game changer, sort of the same way. And when you see these guys emerge on the scene, and you see them do it for more than a game, he was pretty good against us. They won last weekend. They won again this weekend, 2 wins in a row. So obviously, Kentucky's found something at quarterback. He's a local kid, which means, they're not going to have to fight to keep him. And all of a sudden, Kentucky fans could be happy with Bob Stoops and his maybe 3-5 SEC record. That's how crazy things can change in this league because they could beat Vanderbilt. Kentucky could beat Vanderbilt. And you know what, Bino? Vanderbilt to me felt like they were playing history the other day. You could sense the weightiness on them against Auburn, Beanstar. Which, by the way,
you could sense it when they played Texas the first half.
Yeah, the weightiness of this thing, which gives me hope for the end of the season because they'll come on here. They'll come into our building. If they get by Kentucky, they'll come into our building with the weight of the world on their shoulders. And either one of two things is going to happen. This Pavia guy is going to have the game of his life, and they're going to whack us, which is on the table. He could run all over our defense if he's healthy enough. Or they're not going to handle it well, and we're going to crack them, and maybe crack them wide open. And I don't know how to feel about Vandy. I don't know how to feel about Vandy, Kentucky. That I know I'm with Bino. I know Vanderbilt's got a very solid team, but man, the league is so interesting this year. And the sport is so interesting.
I kind of think that there's more. The Florida game to me is more no tolerance than Vandy right now.
Yep.
Because I think Vandy's a lot better than Florida.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about that, Brian. But saying with a straight face that you should go to Florida and win. There have been years the Vols have gone there and lost when Georgia Southern and Vanderbilt whacked them. The difference now, Bino, is the reason this one would be unforgivable is in past years, we played Florida before the air was out of the sails. They would have to refill their sails now with air in order to get up and beat us. That's the difference.
Yeah, and there's another beating coming before we ever get there.
That's right.
Too. So, yeah, I mean, there's little excuse to go down and win that game. The only thing that they have going for them at this point is just the series history.
That's it.
And most of this Tennessee team hasn't experienced that.
Well, it's like Kurt Signetti said. This team's never played there. I mean, that's
right.
You'd say what you want to say about him. He went to a complete losing program and somehow managed to change their mindset overnight. And that's not an easy thing to do. That's not an easy thing to do.
And Penn State still has players I don't think Florida has.
Hell yeah, Bri. Hell yeah.
It's not surprising that game was close. Indiana had to overcome a lot of history. And despite their record, a pretty good team on the road.
And they had a guy make an incredible play in the back of the end zone to win the game. At this point in the year, they don't care how. They care how many.
Indiana didn't have their best receiver.
And
I'm not sure, Tony, that there's ever been a better reclamation job in college football than Signetti's done at Indiana.
Yep. Nobody will know this. Only God knows this. How many people did Nick Saban get fired when he came into this league and made it look easy? A whole bunch of guys, including Philip Fulmer. He got Fulmer fired. And that's faux show. You agree with that, Bino? He got Fulmer fired. And a myriad of coaches, by the way.
Along with Meyer. Meyer got Fulmer fired too.
Fair statement, Beanstar?
I think that was I think that certainly that was the biggest impetus. I mean, that's what wore on people, just like Alabama wore on people with majors.
Signetti has gotten a bunch of guys. He got James Franklin fired in that league. People are looking at him and they're going, wait a second. This guy's got more bigger wins than you do in a year and a half. What are you doing? Get out. Let's go to the phones. 865-200-5402.
You got people fired like Pearl got them fired.
Yeah, that's exactly
when
right.
When he first got here and people looked at this program and said, what in the world? And Pearl had a lot to do with getting Fulmer fired.
Did Vitello have a lot to do with getting other SEC baseball coaches fired?
Probably. I would think certainly.
Yeah, pretty interesting. 865-200-5402 if you want to hunt mix with us and mix hunt with us. We'd love to hear from you. Today on the one and only It Is Your Basilio show as we get ready to go back to our phones. 865-200-5402. Let's get our next call in as we jump our next call into the show. Hi, welcome in. You're on our TLD Logistics phone line on a Monday. Hi.
What's going on, guys? Right on schedule. You were going to say a lot of things I said. It's Hoosier Ball Ryan.
Hit it, brother.
Got to start, got to ask, Tone. What did your boys up in it's State College, ain't it? Isn't that the name of it, up in Philly area? What'd they say about that having the hearts ripped out of their chest there? That was unbelievable.
A couple of them had great lines. They said, when you manage a series the way that Penn State's interim coach managed the series before they gave the ball back to Indiana,
I couldn't believe it.
What when you're an interim coach, Bino, why are you playing anything close to the vest at any point in a football game? I've never understood that. I'm an interim coach. I am a substitute teacher. I have no chance of getting the job. What are you doing? And Ryan, to those that didn't see it, describe what we're talking about, because literally when that happened, you knew the game. I'm giving the ball back to them. That's an interim coach that should be fired.
Katron Allen right, Katron Allen left. Tight end, not Bino's boy and my boy, sort of, up there in Indianapolis. Not Tyler Warren screen. Tight end dump down, screws up the 2-minute punt, gives Signetti a timeout and the 2-minute.
Yeah. You don't even run the clock down to 2 minutes.
After they were running it down our throats for real, when they were really running. Not like, let's just get out of here running, like we're going to really run the score.
A give-up series. They're trying to salt the game away, Beanstar, and they came with their worst stuff all day and had a give-up series. And look, we see it in this league all the time. Why in the world do I give the ball back to you in that spot when everybody knows what's going to happen? Everybody knows.
Let's give the best winner in college football right now, other than Kirby Smart, a chance to beat me one last time. Pretty brilliant.
Makes no sense.
I have no.
And Tone, that defense is so stone cold great. They sacked Fernando Mendoza on first down, and it's cooked. You watch enough college football, the game is over when that happens. No, it ain't.
Not with him.
I love the Vols, Tone. You know I love the Vols. You guys have heard me. How many times have you all ever heard me talk about Indiana football?
That would be never. That'd be never.
Because there was no reason to. Y'all, everyone can hate it all you want. Something is in the air up there. Because that Penn State defense, that's the Oklahoma team on steroids we saw last year.
No question.
You think Oklahoma's defense is great and a bad offense? You need to watch that Penn State team play. If I tell old boy Penn State guy that sucks for RDC, I'd say, you want to keep your job? You get up there and tamper with those linebackers and safeties, or else you're out of here. Because, Tone, how good would we be with Penn State linebackers and safeties?
How good would Tennessee be with their defense?
That's not a crap team. I know everyone's crapped on them, but I was scared going into that game. I said, this is it. If we get around today, we're 12-0. But it could happen today. But
well, here's the thing, right? The Mendoza guy shows me the value in identifying a veteran quarterback and moving and getting and securing a veteran quarterback. And you know what, Bino? John Adams has been beating this drum perhaps too much for some people's taste. He does not think it would be wise for Tennessee to go into next year with a true freshman against the first ever 9-game SEC schedule, which, by the way, is going to be a lot more difficult than the schedule you've played the last couple of years here. There's just no doubt about that. Either that or a lightly used, light redshirt freshman quarterback who, by the way, I think George McIntyre is very talented. I'm not sure that's setting him up to succeed either, throwing him out there with very little experience against that schedule beginning next year with the Georgia Tech game in Atlanta, which is not, I'm telling you right now, that is a way step up in competition from that Syracuse team that we saw last year. And so it begs the question, guys, and Indiana's shown you this. You can make a lot of hay with one of these transfer quarterbacks if you can identify one, and you pay them, and you just pay them, and you tell the young kids, hey, I'm sorry, but this is the reality we're in now. And by the way, if I go 6-6 this year, they're going to be all over me. I love you guys, and I love your show, but this is the reality I'm in right now. Bino, what side of the fence do you come down on here as we're in mid-November?
I think the best approach, Tony, is to find, if you can identify this guy, you find a one-year player, you find a one-year quarterback that has experience, and you bring him in. And if McIntyre and Faison, if either one of those guys are unwilling to wait that one extra year, then you just let them go. I think McIntyre will wait. I don't know about Faison, but yes, I think with what we're facing next year, our best option is now only a one-year guy.
1 year.
I don't want to bring in a guy that these guys have to wait 2 years behind. I don't think that's fair to the guys you sign.
But this Mendoza guy, the guy last year they got out of the MAC, I mean, that somebody in that Indiana program, and then the receivers they've surrounded this guy with, somebody in that Indiana program knows what they're doing when it comes to player personnel.
Well, yeah, and look, I love Tennessee. Always will. You know, the thing with Indiana is when sports fate touches someone, I wish it would have touched the Vols, but y'all, I just think somehow it touched Indiana football. Season's not over yet, but you guys are right. You follow the sport enough, you read the history. It defies explanation what you're seeing in Bloomington. And I think I'll take it a step further on Franklin. Although I don't think they did the homework, because Signetti's from Pittsburgh, and Tone, you know how that Pittsburgh-Penn State feeling is. I assume they fired Franklin, and they said, we're going to pick this phone up. We're going to call Bloomington, and he's going to say, I'm in, make it look good for TV, because that's what's always happened. And he didn't say that. And out the door for the Florida, Signetti's right. We always lose in Florida, but these guys ain't played Florida. And Josh Heupel, please be a little more like Signetti. And if you're going to keep Banks, he needs to tamper with all those safeties and linebackers up there in Penn State. I know we like to crap on the Big Ten down here. If you gave that Penn State defense to this team with a real DC, we'd be cooking with grease, guys.
Thank you, brother. If you gave Penn State's defense to this Tennessee team, you would have blown everybody out. And I mean everybody. And you'd be undefeated right now. 865-200-5402. I don't care what league you're playing in. They got a bunch of NFL guys on their defense. And we kind of don't. I'll continue with more as we come back. 865-200-5402. Here's the thing about the modern game, and we need to start thinking this way. Most of these jobs are pretty equal now. You can win at most any job. Look at the guy at Vanderbilt. Why are they winning? They've invested in it. That's obvious. They've got a highly paid payroll. That you can sit there, we can pretend like they don't. They invested money in that deal. Hour number 2 after this.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof, T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. Living Vol fan, make Alumni Hall your one-stop shop for all your Vol fans on your shopping list this holiday season. There's nothing better than getting your favorite Tennessee gear under the tree. Picture it, a nice polo shirt, a new hoodie, something for the man cave. Pop in and see my friends at Alumni Hall. Best selection of Tennessee gear. Alumni Hall, 3 Knoxville locations. Bristol, Johnson City, Murfreesboro, or online at alumnihall.com. It's easy to have a big orange Christmas. And happy holidays from everyone at Alumni Hall. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience. Alumni Hall.
When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our Gold Bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business.
conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to Budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama's Easy approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
TB back with you half asleep on a Monday. And it sounds like it. Wake up, Tone. Wake yourself up. 865-200-5402. I was in the process of sending something over to Amachi Brook because we're getting ready, ladies and gentlemen, for our 10th annual Keith Hatfield tailgate with the kids. And we're closing in on our ticket goal. We need your help. Amachi Tailgate Ticks at gmail.com. Amachi's a tremendous program that mentors children that have one or both parents incarcerated, and just trying to show these kids we love them and do our part. And it's a beautiful thing. And shout out to our two unnamed people in Nashville who buy us our spot over at Tailgate, Tennessee. I will share that spot with you momentarily. And I'm telling Brooke to look at this map here. We're doing all this but we're going to be, let me read this map to you. Bino likes stuff like this. And then we'll go back to our phones at 865-200-5402. Bino, what's the Colts record right now?
Colts are 8-2, Tony, going into their bye week. I would have never, ever, ever dreamed that.
We're going to be on the white lawn, ladies and gentlemen. White lawn. Not the orange lawn, but the white lawn. And we're W8. 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 We're 2 tenths down from WVLT's tent. See if there's anybody else here that I know. Team Health, shout out Lance, Brookview. UT's Tickle College. My daughters are graduated that. We're right near them. So right on, Josephine, baby, right on. Again, W8, white 8, W8, W8. We're 2/10 down from the UT Spirit squad, and I'm hoping you all will leave them alone. Brian, any word yet on Tennessee's kickoff time with Florida? And let's guess it before they show it, Brian. What's the time going to be?
I'm going to go with 7:30. I'll say it'll be an ESPN telecast. It'll be either 7. I'll say 7 o'clock.
I'm going to go afternoon game. Early afternoon game. Bino, do you have a preference? What's easier? What's harder?
I do not have a preference, Tony. My guess is that this is going to be a early afternoon game, a 12 or 12:40 or whenever, depending on whether they're on ABC or whether they're on SEC Network. I think it'll be the early game on one of those two.
That Taylor Zazor guy that did the Vanderbilt game the other day, Bino, sounds just like Mark Packer doing those high school games. And once you hear that, you can't unhear it. To the phones we go. Brent V3 is calling for a 4:15 Eastern Dave Neal special, Bry. A Dave Neal special.
I could see that. I keep wondering about, well, I think you don't want to face a team on the road at night, but I don't know that it really is going to matter in this game.
I just want to get it over
when
with.
That game is.
The last time we won there, it was an afternoon game. Or am I imagining
I think it was
that?
like a late afternoon game that kind of bled into the evening.
Yeah. I thought it was
actually.
I thought it was
the last time they won was a noon game. The 2001 was that game. I think the last time they won was a noon kick.
The one there? I thought it was 2004 was the last time they won there.
2003. I think that was a noon kick because I remember
it
being
was a noon
Calhoun's
kick.
on the river.
That's exactly right.
And
it was a noon
James
kick.
Banks had that Hail Mary at the end of the half.
That's exactly right. Yep. James Banks. Wow. What a big deal that was when we got him out of Indianapolis. They had a big, huge assembly. We had it live on the show back then. Great memory, Bry.
I think Signetti gets in this year if he's coming out.
We were live at Calhoun's on the river. Yeah, oh yeah. He would be staying at home. So let's go back to the phones. And we'll get our next call in at 865-200-5402. If you want to go back to our phones and let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You are live with us and in living color. Welcome in on the show.
Greetings, Tony. Bino.
Hey, Vandy Joe. Welcome,
Hey, Joe.
in, buddy.
How you guys doing?
Doing great, man.
You back doing better?
Getting there, yep.
Well, I find out my fate Friday.
Prayers up to you. Prayers up.
Yes,
my man.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a long road. Long road. We'll talk about something more pleasant. What do you think of Saturday?
I think your guys are very much alive.
I think we're
Very much
fortunate.
alive. Well, yeah, you got to have some fortune in this deal, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You wonder why? You wonder what changed the tide for them?
Yep.
A guy by the name of Daniel Deermeyer. You know who that is?
No.
He's the chancellor. Until
He's the what, Joe?
That
He's a chancellor, Bino. He's a chancellor.
Oh, okay.
He's the chancellor of the university.
Right.
If he wouldn't have done what he did, I don't think they'd be anywhere near where they are right now. He decided to buck everything that was Vanderbilt history since since I was born, and say we're going to support athletics at this place, and that met with a ton of resistance. And now, while the eggheads are still not in on everything that's going on, the board of trust is. And I think you're going to see them hang around for a while. The basketball team's looking good. The women's soccer team even won the SEC yesterday in a kickoff, but which I watched the last little bit of. And so fortunes athletically are looking up for them. So who knows? We'll just. I figure we're playing with house money.
Yep.
It's sort of the way I look at it right now. They're going to go. They may not win another game the rest of the season, but we're playing with house money, and I'm just sort of. I'm amazed at what's going on, really.
Joe, you can say that, but when you have a once-in-a-lifetime year and you have something in your hands and you're this close to realizing it, the concept of Vanderbilt landing a playoff berth is just astounding to me. The pressure that those guys must feel. Now, look, they get an off week this week. That Kentucky bunch gets that salty Tennessee Tech team. Bobby Wilder, by the way, is going to join us coming up on Thursday on the program, who's taken Tennessee Tech back from the abyss, and they are really, really very good right now.
Oh, yeah, they're excellent.
And so he's going to join us on the show. But look, it's easy for you to say we've already accomplished what we want, however you want to put that. We've already had our season.
I'm not saying we've had our season. What I'm saying is we're playing with house money. So we're free and loose.
I don't think so.
I think so. I think things are in a lot better place than you might think they are.
I don't think that was a free and loose game for them with Auburn. It felt like they were pulling teeth against a losing team.
Their defense was horrendous. This off week couldn't have come at a better time for them to self-scout their defense and figure out what they need to do for the last two games of the season.
Beanstar, we are going to attack the middle of the field on Vanderbilt, and we're going to restore order to college football as we knock them out of the deal. You know that, right, Bino? The middle of the field will be attacked.
Yeah. Yes. The middle of the field will be attacked, coming in both directions.
No question.
I think that's a very salient point, Bino, because I think they're both going to attack the middle of the field, and it may be the team that's got the ball last that ends up winning the game.
Yeah.
Think about this.
Fabius Sowers combination scares me to death.
Vandy could make a 12-team playoff before Florida and programs like LSU do.
Yep.
I'll give you a name to watch when the game comes off. Watch 16.
That's not a name, Joe. That's a number.
That's a number. His name's Cole Spence.
Okay.
Watch him.
You're the man, Joe. I appreciate that. Cole Spence. We're taking notes and taking names. Cole Spence. And we got numbers. So we go back to our TLD Logistics phone line. I erroneously said earlier that John Reeves won a Heisman Trophy at Florida. That was not John Reeves. But let's go back to the phones and get our next call in. I knew Reeves as the guy that played for Spurrier with the Tampa Bay Bandits in the USFL, and he was pretty damn good there. He was like 33, 34 years old and was throwing it around for them back in the day, throwing it around. He came out of Tampa, Florida. He was a first-round pick, ladies and germs, of my Philadelphia Eagles. He was the 14th overall pick in the 1972 draft, and like a lot of Eagle draft picks back then, he didn't do much. He was a first-team All-America. And he's a member of the Florida-Georgia Hall of Fame. But let's go back to the phones. Hello and welcome in. You're on our Monday edition. Hi.
Happy Beano Day.
Hey, Polly.
What's up, Polly?
How we doing, guys?
Good, brother. How you doing?
Prayers up for Vandy Joe.
Yep.
Whatever's going on. Tony, I got to give him a little credit, you know. I had a topic of what I was going to call, but I have to give a compliment to Vandy Joe.
Yep.
Because I love the relationship of conversation between you and Vandy Joe and I clarified Joe over the years, because I remember the great bit when he got mad. I've only heard him get kind of angry a couple times, but it was always when you were calling him Vandy Joke.
That's terrible.
But of all, I want to give him a compliment, because of all the times he could just go off, you know. Is this year with Pavia, what he's done at Andy, but he didn't.
No,
so I want to give him a little compliment. I respect that, because you know me, I kind of can't do that yet.
What does that mean?
I'll get better with my age.
What does that mean? You can't do that?
I try to, but
he wants to wait till the game's played. He's already doing that thing that, you know, people that are part of losing fan bases usually do when they start talking about house money. You know, with the Cubs, that 1 year they went, there's such thing as house money. When you get this close to winning something and you've never won, the pressure only increases.
Bino always gives me HE double hockey sticks.
Yep.
When we're on our fireside chat.
Yep.
You know, but I tell Bino, I said, Bino, I'm always hard on my own team. I'm harder on my own teams than anyone.
Yep.
But okay, so here we are with the Tennessee program. This is what I see is, it's not just think of any football program, not these days, any football program, not Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in your 5th year now, that's a long time for a coach.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in your 5th year, and when it comes down to it, when you need a yard, and your defense is at all time at the worst in 5 years that in your program, and when you need a yard and you can't get it, and your defense is at an all-time low, 5 years in, that's a problem. Signetti is a lot like Vitello, and that was a great comment. When I heard that post-game interview, I was like, wow, man, that's exactly what Vitello's mentality is. When you've never won here, well, this team's never played here, bruh.
Yeah, I love that portion of the comment. I thought that was spot on. It was the next one that he went back straight Signetti on the poor sideline girl.
I didn't see that. Oh yeah, I did kind of, but I've only watched it once. And then the other thing here, and then I'll let you go. And here's my question for you two. Is, you know how everyone's saying that Kiffin, Heupel is a better coach because he's been to a postseason, Kiffin's been to 0?
Yep.
Well, the same people that they're saying that are the same people that are saying that Barnes is better than Pearl. And look what Pearl did. He's been to 2 Final Fours in 8 years, and Barnes been to 1 in 40-something. So how can you have that same argument, same person? I mean, that was the first year with a 12-team playoff ever, and he made it. He made it. Give him credit. But I mean, if you're going to say that he's better than Heupel or Kiffin, because Kiffin hasn't been to a playoff, then how can you
No,
say
Joe, you
Barnes has done better than Pearl?
You were having such a good phone call, and then you had to play the hits, man.
That's what I was complimenting Vandy Joe.
Well, why did you play that? Why
one
did you
day,
play
but
the hits? Why did you have to do that, man? You were, Bino, he was having such a good call, right? And then he had to go and play the hits.
Have a good day, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bino, comment on that. This guy's just need to play the hits.
Tony, I'm not going to make Paulie's phone call for you. As he told you off the air, I'm not too easy on on Paulie, but I've heard it all. I've heard it all, and like I told you, our phone calls always end the same way, with me telling him that he's one of the lunatic fringe, and he starts making sheep noises at me. That's just our phone call.
865-200-5402. And Brian, for the record, Rick Barnes a better basketball coach than Bruce Pearl, yes or no? If we had that discussion, or is Pearl a better basketball coach than Rick Barnes at this point? If you had to evaluate,
I really think that's a coin flip. Rick Barnes has sort of been more consistent recently. With Pearl, it's Final Four or bust. Meaning, when he didn't go to the Final Four, he never got out of the first weekend. So, I don't think you can say definitive. You've got an argument either way.
yeah, I think that is an interesting argument. I think that's an interesting argument. There is very little doubt that Bruce Pearl is one of the great winners we've seen, and his force of will brought Tennessee basketball back. And Tennessee quickly, and I give Dave Hart a lot of credit, they moved off Konzo Martin. They moved off Donnie Tyndall when he opened the door for him, and they grabbed Rick Barnes. Very smart thing Dave Hart did. And in a sea of real stupidity for Dave Hart, but that was a very smart thing he did.
Took over the program when they'd been to one tournament in, I think, 6 years. So he sort of had a resurrecting job to do on his own. It took him 3 years to do it.
Yep.
So both kind of built up the program and the brand.
Yeah, tough. It's look, that's tough sport, and it's harder now than it's ever been because it's pickup basketball. I wrote today in the blog, I really believe this. On the men's side and the women's side, the sport now looks like, at this time of the year, pickup basketball. Now, you could see glimpses of what makes this Tennessee team tantalizing, but it's glimpses. Because you're just not going to get consistent play at this time of the year. These players are all, you got what, 9 of your 12 are new players, including a point guard and off guard. You're 3. The only thing stable about this team is a couple pieces on the front line. And even JP Estrella, to some extent, who's been one of their better players early on, is kind of a new player because the plug was pulled on him so quickly last year. So he's kind of learning as they go. And these quad 4 games, and they'll have 4 of them in a row, are a tough watch. Are a tough watch. But Donnie Tyndall's show cause Bean Star 10 years. That thing's got to be over soon, doesn't it? Because Barnes in his 11th year.
Yeah, you would certainly think so. Absolutely.
I guess this at the end of this season. And why they even have show causes is the silliest thing in the world from the past era. But I did see where Spokane Skokan's coming back. Pruitt got a job with whom, guys, as an analyst?
Jacksonville
State.
Yeah, Alabama school. He'll be back in the big time. Pruitt will as a DC for somebody before too long.
Well, I'll say this on those two topics that Paulie brought up, Tony. After the array of stiffs that I saw roll in here post-Mears, I'm thrilled to death that I saw both Pearl and Barnes coach basketball here. The Kiffin deal, I've always liked Kiffin.
Yep.
I hate he left here.
Yep.
I think he was going to do great things here, but he chose to leave, and the opportunity to bring him back really never has presented itself. So that's that. I think he's an excellent football coach.
2017, I think they just didn't have people in place that were going to do it, but that would have been when he would have brought him back.
Yeah.
Coming off of what he did at Florida Atlantic.
Yeah, it's just not who we are. We're just not gonna. We're not gonna bring out. We're not gonna bring a star back here. It's just not who we are. We're not. This is not a star hiring place, guys. It's just not what we want. It is just not what we want.
But remember this, Tony Vitello was not a star or even close to being a star when they hired him.
That's right. That's right.
He became one.
And look at the resistance he got internally when he became one. I'm just telling you, down through the years, this is just not. Hey, when Pearl was here's a dirty little secret. They were sick of Pearl when he got in trouble with the NCAA. He had gotten too big around town. But, some people aren't going to like me saying that, but I am dealing in facts here. Yes or no?
Well, I mean, you would know better than I if that were facts, Tony. It's certainly the impression that you get.
But, what happened to Johnny Majors when he really started winning in the early 90s? Just answer the question. I want anybody to answer the question. He was going around shooting his mouth off with the boosters. And they don't like stars. We like compliance here. That's okay. Rick Barnes is a adroit political animal who stays in the background, knows how to play the game. Do you see Rick Barnes being a star, Bino? Putting himself out there and being a star?
Well, let's put it this way, Tony. I don't think they like irritants.
So continue with more on the other side. That's the point. And
I don't know about stars, but they don't like irritants.
And Lane Kiffin, during his tenure here, well, my gosh, you could have a 60 for 60 on that, a 180 for 180 a couple hundred years from now after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline, online at tldlogistics.com.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice cold refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dos with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morse here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first time of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team started at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we are the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our trials last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
So Josh Heupel just had his press conference over at UT, and no word on when the Florida game is. We're watching that. And he had one interesting thing to say about Staley. Brian, I'm going to put that under the heading tomorrow over on the blog at tclub.teams. I'm not afraid to tell him myself under sit down and shut up, Basilio. Go ahead, Brian. From the shit.
He just said
sit
that.
Sit down and shut up, Basilio. Easy for me to say. Category.
He was just that confident in his ability that he didn't think it affected their roster building and who they let leave and who they didn't bring in and who they let leave.
Read me the quote, Brian. Read me the whatever it was.
I'll have to go pull it back up here.
Pull it.
He said that.
Pull
it. He said the strong play of freshman slot receiver Braylon Staley is unsurprised. He said his staff was so confident in him that it impacted off-season roster building decisions, which made probably who they let leave and didn't bring in. So that's according to Wes Rucker.
Bino, what did I do back in the spring and summer and off-season?
You ripped this receiving corps, Tommy.
Was I right or wrong?
That's one you were wrong on, Tony.
Have you ever known me, Bino, to not own things as they occur?
No, you're an owner, Tony. You own your gaps.
Some could call me an operator. Some could call me an owner-operator.
Yes.
Let's go back to the phones. Young kids that attempt to do this, and I do mean attempt. Here's a little lesson for you. It's okay to be wrong. It's called the human condition. Don't stay wrong. Don't stay wrong. And when you do what I do, be pretty transparent with it. Show people you're a human being. And when you open your microphone, look into your camera. Don't be afraid to give your opinion. Don't be afraid to have a take. Try to, as best you can, make your take based in knowledge and your opinion based in knowledge. And you're still going to swing and miss. But when you swing and miss, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and children of all ages, do me a favor. Own it. Now, that said, they better be very active in the portal this offseason on defense. Bino, do I get an amen out of you, or can I get a hell yeah from like a stone cold Steve Austin? Do you agree, Bino, they better be upgrading their defense out of that portal this year, or no?
That's an amen, Tony. Amen.
Yeah. Back to the phones we go. And here's the thing. You've got, if you're doing your homework in your Tennessee, you've got a ton of places that are in flux or about to be. All you have to do is take the flow chart and say, okay, this is the opening. Who are they filling the opening with? Those are two schools right there where you can go get kids now. Two destabilized programs. And Josh Heupel, you're stable. Now, with Skullcamp coming back to college football, a thought occurred to me. Would you rather have Jeremy Pruitt as your defensive coordinator, the Scowy, or would you rather have, I always call him James Banks because Bride did it last week, Tim Banks as your DC? Where you at, Brian? Or Bino?
Jeremy Pruitt or Banks?
Yeah.
I think Pruitt's easily a better DC than Banks.
Tim Banks or James Banks, who Bry had last week as our DC?
I would take Pruitt.
Back to the phones
I don't know that I wouldn't rather have James Banks sometimes as our DC than Tim Banks.
After this year, I'll take Ernie Banks.
Back to the phones. You think Ernie could teach him how to line? Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, it's Garrick up in snowy South Bend. How we doing?
Oh, snowy in South Bend. We got some school closings for you.
Yeah, well, they don't close schools up here. I think they got about 5 to 7 inches. Everything's running just fine.
That's what. Wow, 5 to 7 inches. That's amazing, man.
Yeah. You guys were talking about Donnie Tyndall and his show cause and all that.
Yep.
Do you guys remember seeing earlier in the year that Billy Gillespie at Tarleton State got, I guess, suspended or whatever? They ended up reinstating him, but that was their guy that they were essentially vetting to maybe take the Tarleton State job was Donnie Tyndall. I thought that was the funniest thing.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting.
And I went up to Chicago yesterday to watch IU play Marquette, and I'll tell you, it was so crazy seeing Big Rod Clark over there on the IU coaching staff. I totally forgot he left the staff and headed up here, but that was wild. I kind of forgot that he left over the off season.
How did IU look in person the other night? What did you think?
They looked pretty good. I think that between the coach's son, DeVries, and the kid from Sam Houston that they picked up, if they catch lightning in a bottle, I think that they can beat just about anybody, but they were lacking rim protection depth, and they only have one kid that can bring up the ball, it seems like, for them. And all the